I will build this world from love. You must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam Hesed Yibane, Olam Chesed Yibane, Zimatia Bayehili Lishua Ozi Zimatia Bayehili Lishua Ozi Zimaratia Bayehili Zimaratia Bayehili Nishua Ozi Bizimaratia Bayehili Nishua Ozi Bizimaratia Bayehili Ozi Zimaratia Bayehili Lishua Ozi Zimaratia Bayehili Lishua Ozi Zimaratia Bayehili Lishua Ozi Zimaratia Bayehili Lishua. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידדי דדי דדי דדי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידדי דדי דדי דדי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידדי דדי דדי דדי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידדי ידדי דדי דדי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידדי ידדי דדי דדי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידדי דדי דדי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So good to see our community gathered on this. Well, I guess it's not snowing as much anymore. We will shortly break out into some breakout rooms and be able to welcome each other and visit for just a couple of minutes in awareness as soon as we get back from our breakout rooms. If you have kids close by, bring them. If you don't have kids close by, then maybe you can grab some pictures. If you don't have children, consider all those kids running around in our community that you are helping to raise in this community, because we're going to bless all those kids pretty soon. And also bring your Shabbat candles as well. We'll do those in a moment, but first let's jump into some breakout rooms to be able to visit some, and we'll do that for 5 minutes or so, and then from there we'll come back and sing more with Chud. Off we go. Should see a little button to push and off you'll go into your breakout room. Barb, welcome. Shabbat Shalom. We just went over to breakout rooms. Heather and Herschel, just so you know, we just broke out into breakout rooms. There you go. Judd, we'll see you in a couple minutes. Shabbat Shalom, Deborah and Dick. I just have you over in room 2. Oh, there you go.
But you gotta call son. Oh, so you got.
Hi, Dad. Welcome back, Dad.
Hey,
Maggie
Josh.
and Bob, welcome back.
Yes.
There's Pop-Up right there.
Where's Dad?
Oh, where's Judd? We'll see Judd in a second. Welcome back, everyone. There's Judd. Judd, I just got a request of where's Judd? Where's Judd?
I'm
Shabbat
right here, don't
shalom,
worry.
Josh. Shabbat shalom, Clemens.
Shabbat shalom, Kevin and the Krasno
Shabbat
crew.
Shalom.
Friends, we're gonna transition, and I think Theo's giving us a sense. Theo's really giving us a sense of what we're about to do. I'm gonna spotlight Theo. There he is. What's up, Theo? We're gonna bless you in a second here. Okay? Yeah, we're blessing you, kid. And we're gonna bless all of our children in our community. So if you have kids close by, you might want to put a hand on their head. If you'd like to read along with the prayer, it's on page 48. I just added the prayer book to the chat. And I think I saw Barbara and Jerry and Dick and Devra, who have been so gracious and leading these prayers that ask that maybe this week, Devra, you could do the Hebrew, and Dick and Jerry, you and Barbara can do the English. I'm gonna spotlight, if it's okay with folks, tell me if you prefer not to by just shaking your head, but I'm gonna spotlight some pictures of Heather and Herschel's kids, and Al and Charlene's kids, and the Ross's kids, the Duvall Ross kids. And we'll spotlight Dick and Devra, who in a moment will lead a prayer. And I think I saw Jerry and Barbara, but there they are. And why not? I'll spotlight the Clayman kid. Oh, Lori, I got to spotlight your kids. Oh, and the Krasna. Oh, we got the Oh, too many. So beautiful. The Krasnows. Look at those Krasnow kids coming in here. Friends, let's take a moment and let's have Deborah and Dick and Jerry and Barb lead us in the blessing over our children, shall we?
Yismech Elohim Kesora Rivka Rachel Valeah. And then in the traditional blessing is chanted often with the Kohen, with the hands like this, which is a blessing image, sign. And allegedly those who have the physical ability to do this are related to the Kohanim, supposedly. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Yoher Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Where's it too late? No, we're good.
May God make you to be like Ephraim and Manasseh. May God make you to be like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May Adonai bless you and watch over you. May Adonai shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Adonai look towards you and grant you peace.
Amen.
Amen. Barbara and Jerry, Deborah and Dick, thank you so much for blessing our children. We're gonna light candles now. Now we're gonna light candles. So let's see if we can spotlight some candles in our community.
Like you lost.
I'm gonna see, moving as quick as I can to highlight some candles. If you prefer not to be spotlighted, just give me a thumbs down or a no when I spotlight you. We've got Ben and Beth, Maggie and Bob. I'm gonna pull you up. You got your beautiful candles. Oh, Nora, we gotta have East Coast candles.
Dad. Dad.
Rose.
Dad, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me, Dad.
I'm gonna remove myself because we've
Excuse me.
run out of spots.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Gracious.
Very beautiful.
Can you light mine on fire? No, it's mine and I'll get this. I hold it. That was a crazy one.
Page 3. Higali, gali, gali, na. Ufwas, Havila. Gali, 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 na. Ufwas, Habib, your life. It's Sukkah, at On page 5, we'll sing a new song. Shilvul Adonai, Shir Hadash, Shilvul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shilvul Adonai, Zemo, Tzubel Yom Le'yom, Yeshuato Sapu, V'goyim Kevodo, B'chol ha'amim niflotav, Ki gadol Adonai, U'mechulal me'od, Nogahu, Al ko Elohim, Yai, Ki ko Elohei ha'amim elilim va'Adonai, Shamayim asah, Hod v'hadar, לפניו עוז ותפארת, במקדשו הבול אדוני משפחות עמים חבו לאדוני, כבוד ועוז חבו לאדוני, כבוד שמו שאו מנחה ובוא לחצרותיו, ידי די ישתחוו לאדוני בחדרת קודש, כאילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבר בר, תימות ידין עמים במשרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגר הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, ידי די אז ירננו כל עצי יער לפני אדוני, קיבה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו, ידי 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 Lachadodi's on page 11. Lachadodi, lekrakala, Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat, Nikabela, Shamo v'zachor. ישמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה, לחדודי לכלכלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה, נקרא שבת מכוון אליך, כי מכל הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, די 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 לחדודי, די 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 לכלכלה, די 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באוהל קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שידברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, ידי די ידי לחדודי, ידי די לכלכלה, ידי די פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה, בואי שלום, תרת בלה גם בשמחה וצחולה פוחמני סגולה בואי חלה יאי די די יאי לך דודי יאי לככלה יאי פני שבת פני שבת נקרב יאי לך דודי יאי לככלה יאי פני שבת פני שבת נקרב On page 14 is Tzadik Katimar. Tzadik Katamar yifrach yifrach Tzadik Katamar yifrach Tzadik Katamar yifrach yifrach Tzadik Katamar yifrach Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske niske Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske niske Tzadik Katamar yifrach yifrach Tzadik Katamar yifrach Tzadik Katamar yifrach yifrach Tzadik Katamar yifrach Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske niske Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske Eres balvanon niske niske And we come to the call to prayer on page 16. We'll bless each other and bless God. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed is this moment now and every now to come. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed is this moment now and every now to come. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Baruch et Adonai Havoach Baruch Adonai Hamavoah Le'olam Va'en. Come all you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Do 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 do.
Carl and Al, we'd love to invite you in this transitional moment of our service to lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim, a blessing over the separation between day and night, and Ahavat Olam, a prayer for the love that we have for God and that God has for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, בחוכמה פותח שעורים, ובתבונה משנה עתים, מחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו.
אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
With eternal love, you have loved the house of Israel, your people. Torah and mitzvot, laws and statutes you taught us. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we arise, we will discuss your laws and rejoice in the words of your Torah and in your mitzvot forever and ever, because they are our life and the length of our days, and on them we will meditate day and night. Never take away your love from us. Blessed are you, Adonai, lover of your people Israel.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ויעבדך אל תסיך ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושובך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We're on page 21. מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נועדי לוט אוסף אלינו, נועדי לוט אוסף אלי. ידי 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 מלכותך ראו עיניך בוקר ים לפני משה, זני אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו, מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמדנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמדנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמות צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. Sometimes I wake beneath the moon, thank God I'm breathing. I say please don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, praying for the people to say, we don't wanna fight no more, there'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמדנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמדנו מלכנו לחיים. Rose, would you like to read to us?
Okay, now can you hear me?
We can hear you, Rose.
I'm going to read this again because I find it comforting, and other people I've shared it with have found it comforting. I imagine your presence as the gracious, majestic, rich green canopy of a tree stretching upward, outward, with me nested quietly against the sturdy trunk, resting on sweet-smelling leaves and soft moss. Keep me dry from the rains of sadness. Save me from the cold winds of doubt. Protect me from the darkness of the unknown, so that I may rise and venture forth and touch your world. Your sacred breath whisks away all but the purest presence in me. Angel wings brush my face. Watch over me as a parent peers on a sleeping child. Be the presence I feel, soft, sheltering, strong, cradling me to safety, your canopy over me, under me, surrounding me, sheltering me with peace.
Yikadam yikadash meraba. V'amad yivrach yotei v'yamlich malchutei. V'hayechon yom echon. Ufchayedecho bet Yisrael. Bagala bagala u'izman kariv. V'mo amen. יש מרבה מברך, אלעמו מעלמא יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויפאר וירומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמדי קודשא בריחו. לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, זמירן לעמה ואמרו אמן.
The Chatzi Kaddish, which Judd just recited, is a point of transition in our service. It marks the transition from prayers of peace and the Shema and our Psalms to our Amidah. And so we now invite you to stand at this point of transition, and we'll see if we can find the right prayers in our lips, in our mouth, in our hearts to make the connections that we need on this Shabbat. Those come from the liturgy. You can find it on page 25. Or if it comes from your heart, I encourage you to close your eyes and find those deepest of prayers within.
Na 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 שפתי תפתח, na 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 na, ופי יגיד תהילתך, na 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 אדוני, na 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 na, שפתי תפתח, na 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 na, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Bekoali. Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Bekoali. Yeheyu Ratzon, Moifi, Moifi. Thank you only be lefanecha. Yeah, you're not so lefi. Thank you only be lefanecha. Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Bekoali. Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Adonai Tzui, Bekoali.
We'll take a moment now and pause and think about those loved ones in our lives who are in need of healing, whether it's physical healing or emotional healing or spiritual healing. And I'd ask that if you're willing, you close your eyes or lower your gaze and picture those people. Hold them in your mind's eye, hold them in your heart. Take a deep breath. And together we wish the following blessing. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who we hold in our hearts and in our minds. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored, for their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and of spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Anaena, 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 Refanala, Anaena, 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 Refanala.
If you are so moved and you'd like to bring the name of a loved one into our community so that we can say a Misha Berach, say a healing prayer for them, and you know that this would be moving to them, please unmute and I'll call on you and we'll bring their name into our community. And we'll say a Misha Berach together. Bob.
My wife, Maggie.
Thank you, Bob. Al and Charlene.
My brother and my brother's wife, Paul and Sony Zuckerman.
Thank you, Al. Barb and Jerry.
Joseph Tarolaro, Deborah Ryan, Hyla Newmark. Go ahead.
Andrea Abrams,
Tom Walden.
Ronna Weiss.
Who? Did you say Ronna White? What's the matter?
She has macular degeneration.
Rose.
But our friends Jamie and Gretchen.
Thank you, Rose. Let's see. There's so many people. There's 2 screens. I have to pause and look around. Mike.
Francis Scher, Seymour Elk, and my aunt Florence Firstman.
Thank you, Mike. Dad.
Well, Hudson DeWeese.
Thanks, Dad. Our cousin Hudson. There's a number of names that were shared in the chat that I'll share. Yuval Almog, Frank Lundy, Samuel and Marianne, Remy Blasco, Deborah and her friend Kate Keel. And then I'd like to also share that we're sending healing prayers to Jordan Davis, to Richie Blasco. Is there anyone else who didn't have a chance to share a name that would like to?
Haufen ich volle ומחדש לעצמותם מונה מספר לכוכבים לכולם שמו תקרא Healer of the broken hearted Finder of the wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know where they are. Hallelujah. 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 Anna. Elna. Wifana. Healer of the broken hearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who we are. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you, Judd. It was beautiful. I'll add before I share a small drash, I'll add that in my morning prayers, in the morning Amidah, there is a prayer for healing. And I've been adding to that, Judd, your beautiful El Na'ana prayer. And in it, I chant it enough so that I can have that chant for every person that I'm thinking of and praying for healing. And it's been a really powerful daily process and practice. So thank you, Judd, for bringing these beautiful chants and melodies to our community and these prayers for healing. So beautiful. This week's Parsha is Mishpatim, which means laws or ordinances. And on first glance, it is a drastic diversion from last week's Parsha. Last week, we had Revelation. We had the 10 Commandments. We had fire and smoke and earthquakes at Mount Sinai. Our entire people had a direct experience with God. And this week, we launch right in with the following Hebrew. And excuse me as I continue to improve my Hebrew. Ve'ele hamishpatim asher tasim lifanechem. These are the rules that you shall set before them. We go from revelation to rules. And that's what we read this week. We read rules associated with Jewish bondsmen. We read rules associated with slavery and murder and manslaughter and penalties for bodily injury. What happens if your ox causes death of a person or damages property? We read about theft and how to deal with borrowing money and how we should engage strangers in our midst. And at the end of the Parsha, we transition and learn about the pilgrimage festivals. And then we wrap up at the very end of the Parsha with Moses ascending Mount Sinai, cloud covered, staying there for 40 days and 40 nights. We're right back into the magic and mystical nature of the Torah and our story. And I have to say, the transition from last week to this week to the wrap up of this Parsha was like whiplash for me. It feels like reading Shakespeare in all its intrigue and mystery and beauty. At least that's what I think reading Shakespeare might be like. It's been since high school. Carl, I'm looking at you, and I think that's a fair assessment of Shakespeare. Is that true to say? I'm getting a thumbs up. Good. It's like reading Shakespeare with all its mystery and with all its beauty, like picking up Macbeth, a beautiful narrative filled of intrigue and learnings. And in the middle of it, putting down Macbeth and picking up a manual with details associated with British civil law, dry, detailed, and specific. And then hopping right back into Macbeth. That's how it felt like it might have been. Carl, I don't know if that's a bad analogy or not, but that's what it felt like this week.
It's really good. Perfect.
So if you can imagine that, the difference from last week's Parsha to this week's Parsha in some ways is stark. And like in any Parsha in our Torah, when we look at it line by line, there is really deep, beautiful meaning and teaching we can explore. And we see that this week, just like we did last week. Like the introduction of this line, and we know it, a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. It's the first time we see that in the Parsha. And the deep learning and teachings by our rabbis that they have taught over the years about this hard and intriguing part of the Torah. And this is a teaser. I'm not going to go into depth here. A teaser. Come join us at Torah Study if you want to dive into this more. But this has never been interpreted in our traditions as revenge, as tit for tat, as physical violence in response to physical violence. No, throughout our history, this has always been interpreted as monetary recompense. We have that in this week's Parsha. Or the beautiful teaching, do not oppress a stranger. You know the feeling of being a stranger, for you are a stranger in the land of Egypt. And the deep teaching from our rabbis, including Rabbi Shai, held that this one line helps this turning in our lived memory into empathy and compassion from a period of challenge. And this becomes our ethical charge. Do not oppress a stranger. There is beauty and deep teaching strewn throughout this parsha. And yet, as I read it for the first time this year, I held a feeling of a bit of confusion, at times maybe even a little frustration. How could we go right from a moment of revelation as a people to a parsha filled with a list of a bunch of laws? No matter how interesting some of them might be, why are we reading this now? What is the point? Rabbi Elliot Dorff shares this beautiful and very subtle and slightly different translation of the first sentence of the parsha that helps us to understand. The very first sentence of this parsha and the very first word of this parsha is ve'ele. And this is translated and these, not just these, and these are the rules that you shall set before them. This subtle interpretation and translation that's different than I started has an addition of the word and. And according to our rabbis, not only last week was the Decalogue and the Ten Commandments, they were revealed, but all of this parsha, all of this parsha as well, with rules and laws and details, were revealed at the same moment. It's not picking up a book of British law in the midst of reading Macbeth. It's a recognition that this seemingly unconnected and seemingly at times dry addition is an integral part of the beautiful story. Rabbi Sachs has another beautiful interpretation of this schism from last week to this week that we see as well. He shares a lesson in this transition, a lesson in leadership. This is what Rabbi Sachs shares. There must be a vision to inspire us, tell us why we should do what we are asked to do. There must be a narrative. This is what happened. This is who we are. This is why the vision is so important. And then there must be the law, the code, the fastidious attention to detail that allows us to translate vision into reality and turn the pain of the past into the blessings of the future. So Rabbi Sachs and Rabbi Dorff share that in the midst of abrupt change that we see in this week's parsha, in the midst of abrupt change, we see it is filled with beauty and teachings. And while it might feel and seem that like there is sudden and challenging transition from last week to this week, when we explore in more depth, when we pause to center this drastic transition, I think there might be an additional teaching that there are moments of change that occur in our Torah and in our lives. These moments of change, which may be discongruent at times, this space of change from one week to a next, from one day to a next, from 1 year to a next. In these moments of change, we can also find deep meaning and learning as well. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Josh. Aleinu is on page 41. Invite you to rise if you're able. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגיא הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, והשבותה והשבותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים והשבותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We'll take a moment now, and on page 44, we'll transition to the Mourner's Kaddish, where in a moment I'll ask that for those who would like to, you can unmute and share the name of a person who you're mourning, who, if you're commemorating a yard site, and I will share that our community, Rose in our community, is mourning the loss of our beloved Ron Novak. May his memory be a blessing. And Joan and our community is remembering and mourning the loss of our beloved David Goldfarb. May his memory be a blessing. Now, I'll invite any and all, as you're so moved, to share the name of an individual, or just stand in memory if you're in mourning and you're able. Unmute and I'll call on you, and then we'll say the Mourner's Kaddish together.
Sidney Zuckerman, my father.
Thank you, Al.
From our community, Dr. Stuart Joel Abrams, Todd Bergstein, Ellen Doss, Arthur Fracht, Alan Hirschfield, Susan Herman, David Holmes, Jeffrey Joel, Stephen Capello, Phil Kalani, Emmy Knobloch, David Kornblum, Hillary Leberfeld, Jan Levinson, Sally Mortensen, Larry Reeser, Ron Sapol, Scott Stachel, David Turkier, Elliot Sussman, Herb Lipp, Larry Nussdorf, Jim Wolfenson, Elaine Wolfenson.
If you're able and so desire, and ask that we stand either in mourning or in support of those who are in mourning. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 44. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye t'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman karim ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam umei amaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitramam ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar ve'yithaleh ve'yithalal shemei dekudasha brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran ve'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba amin shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Mary Grossman, what do you got for us?
Hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for joining us tonight. We got a lot of people. It's awesome. As always, tomorrow morning at 10 is Torah study with Josh and about 1 million other people. It's awesome. You should join us. And Carl. Carl, will you be there tomorrow? Okay. And then next week, we'll have regular services, Friday night, Torah study, Saturday morning. You can find all that on our website, all those Zoom links. The following week we have is Purim, and Purim party is Friday night, February 26th. If your family, I don't know how many families we have tonight, we'll be delivering really awesome Purim family bags. And then the BBYO youth group in our community is going to be helping lead, fingers crossed, services for Purim. So that's February 26th, and then Torah study on the 27th. So save the date, everyone. March 28th, the day after Judd's birthday, is Passover. And we're going to have our Zoom Passover services like we did last year. And I think it will be really great. We're going to do more family bags that week. And we're pondering some other interesting outdoor Passover activities for that weekend. So stay tuned for all of that exciting news. Shabbat Shalom.
Mary, can I add that there happens to be, I don't know why, but there happens to be a really good sale at the Whole Grocer on kosher for Passover matzah.
Wait, already?
Already. Don't know why.
Usually they put matzah out for Hanukkah.
And non-kosher Passover matzah sometimes comes out at Passover. So get it while you can.
That's great. I didn't know that. And also it becomes Whole Foods as of Monday. So, or next week. Not sure what that's going to mean for us. But.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hasharet, Malchei Eyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Eyon, Mi Achuni l'shalom malachei l'shalom malachei Eyoni Melech malachei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seichem l'shalom malachei l'shalom malachei Eyon Mi melech malachei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Grab some wine. Get your purple tippy cup going.
So I might see, Judd, if we can spotlight some wine glasses and sippy cups as we do this. And if I spotlight you, you see your face show up with your wine glass and you prefer not to be spotlighted, just turn off your camera and I'll pull you away. But if I see you with the wine glass, watch out, Jenny Ross, you're coming up. There's Jenny Ross. Look at that. And look at that wine glass. So beautiful. So beautiful. I think my daughter wants to be next to you, Jenny. There's my daughter next to you. Rose has her beautiful Kiddush cup. Rose, I'm going to add you. We have juice spilling on our challah right here at the Clayman household.
This is a wine in a rack.
Mhm.
Can you hold this, Dad?
I can hold that. I see Al and Charlene. It looks like not only a beautiful setup for saying the Kiddush, but also that looks like a date night. A couple glasses of wine and some candles. That looks beautiful. We got Barb with her glass of wine, Deborah and Dick with their glass of wine. Nora, look at that glass of wine. That looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, we're going to run out of space here soon, everyone. So many. Oh, sippy cup coming in. Watch out.
Where is it? Yay!
Watch out. And I just got to find Judd. Where are you, Judd? Oh, I'm going to replace us. See you later, Clayman family. And hello, Judd.
I would like to pour into this cup of blessing my gratefulness for our community and all these beautiful faces and the opportunity to be together, even if it's over Zoom. And I'd like to thank Josh and my executive director for all their hard work and everybody for joining us. So into this cup of blessing, let's put all of our blessings, all the good things. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bo'ei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav ve'atzavanu shavah kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikron lama'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher yitziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'chata v'yatanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shava kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Let's get those Clayman kids back up there with the challah.
Get the Clayman kids back up here. Maybe we got, if there's other challahs, Rose, we'll keep you up there because Rose has a beautiful challah. Who else has some challah? Nora, I knew it. Oh my gosh. Look at Nora's challah, everyone. Wow.
Wow, it's so big. Wait, I'm gonna take it.
And Theo's challah, the size of his face.
Mine is the size of my face. Longer than my face. It's longer than my face.
Let's see if we're missing.
And it's wider than my face.
Let's see if we're missing some challahs out there. Oh, let's see. We got one at the Clayman household.
Yeah, it's better to the next.
Shall we, friends, if you have a challah, now's the time to grab it. If you don't have a challah, reach out into the interweb and imagine you're putting your hand on the shoulder of Rose or Theo or Andrea or Nora or Neely or Lulav or someone in our community. And we're about to break bread together. Shall we?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Lulav, come here.
Hearts. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rising sound together as our grateful prayer is said. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem haaretz. Amen.
Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Amen. Unmute and say Shabbat Shalom.
High five.
From the,
The best challah in the world.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Joe.
Shalom,
Rose,
everybody. Shabbat
Rose, your challah looks beautiful, Rose. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good to see you all.
Kevin.
Nora, that's an impressive challah.
I want to see Joan, if you're there, good to see you.
Thank
you. Good to see all of you. Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Joan.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
There's more snow coming your way.
Say shalom.
Trust me.
Bring it
Larry,
on. Bring it
Larry, are
on.
you
We
sending
like
it from
this stuff.
Salmon or is Paula sending it from Dallas? That's the question.
Oh, she's got ice. We got snow.
Oh, we're getting snow.
Yeah, we've got
First
snow all
time
day.
in 5 years.
And it's
Wow.
gonna-
Expecting 8 inches.
Who's that?